Now, what do you think? What's the most popular sport in the world? Is it basketball? Is it baseball? Or maybe cricket? Well, if you think any of those sports are the most popular, you might want to check your pulse because none of them even come close. The one sport that truly reigns supreme is football, soccer to some. No other sport comes even close to touching the global phenomenon that is football. It is a game that needs no introduction. Every kick, every goal, every tackle sends a thrill through billions. When the best teams in the world go head-to-head, the whole planet watches. Over 4 billion people around the world consider themselves football fans. That's more than half of our entire planet. More than half of us get caught up in the drama, the skill, and the sheer beauty of this wonderful game. It is a sport that unites, that fills stadiums with passion, pride, and hope. But behind the cheers and the glory, there's another story, one that is written in blood. Corruption and tragedy. It is a story that goes back almost a century, and it is a story that I will tell you now. The term hooliganism was first used in the 1970s to describe the worst excesses of football violence in England. But the trouble was not limited to England. Across Europe, the beautiful game had become a battleground. By the 1980s, the trouble had reached such a pitch that matches were abandoned, not because of bad weather or darkness, but because of full-blown riots. The football hooligans were here. They spread like a virus, infecting the stands and turning football grounds into battlefields. And then came the Heysel disaster. On May 29, 1985, Liverpool and Juventus faced off at the Heysel Stadium in Brussels. Trouble started before the game even kicked off. Liverpool fans were involved in scuffles with the police. Then came the kickoff, and with it a surge of emotions. The match was intense. It was the European Cup final. Tensions were high, and then came the 54th minute. Juventus defender Orbona accidentally handled the ball inside the penalty area. The referee awarded a penalty kick. Liverpool's Kenny Dalglish sent the goalkeeper the wrong way, and Liverpool took the lead. In the stands, the atmosphere turned violent. The Juventus fans were furious. Bottles rained down from the stands. The Liverpool supporters responded by rushing the barrier to confront them. The fence collapsed. The Liverpool fans surged forward, and with them a section of the stand. People fell. 39 of them would never get up. 5 were crushed to death. 34 died from cardiac arrest after suffering severe chest injuries when the stand collapsed. It was a tragedy that shook Europe. It forced UEFA to ban English teams from European competitions for 5 years. But the Hillsborough disaster was far worse. On April 15, 1989, the FA Cup semi-finals were held at Hillsborough Stadium in Sheffield. Liverpool played Nottingham Forest, and Everton took on Norwich City. The trouble started outside the stadium. There were simply too many fans trying to get in. Many were turned away, but then made their way in through an exit gate. Inside the stadium, the situation was quickly getting out of hand. People were becoming crushed against the fences, but those in charge failed to act. As the game kicked off, the crush worsened. Then came the delayed kickoff for the second half. Perhaps if they had made the announcement over the loudspeaker, the crowd might have dispersed. But that never happened. Instead, the referee decided to start the game again. He blew the whistle and more people surged forward, worsening the crush. Within minutes, 85,000 people were screaming for help. 97 people died. 97 Liverpool fans. They were all under the age of 35. It seemed as though football had hit rock bottom. How could something so beloved turn so deadly? Then came the match fixing, the point shaving, the betting scandals, and the bribery. In 2015, FIFA President Sepp Blatter was banned for 6 years over a payment to Jack Warner, a controversial football official from Trinidad and Tobago. FIFA stands for International Federation of Association Football, but critics say it stands for something else. Fix it football. Corruption is nothing new in football. Clubs are owned by billionaires and sports by multi-million-dollar businesses. But where there is big money, there is also big corruption. The beautiful game has long been a victim of shady deals and questionable transfers, and who can forget the 2018 World Cup in Russia? Teams were accused of intentionally losing matches, of throwing away games in return for millions. Accusations were also made against the host nation. Reports said Russia's team had been offered a multi-million-dollar bribe to ensure they lost early in the tournament. So we see that football has a dark side, one that is filled with violence and greed. But is it beyond redemption? Well, that depends on how we look at it. You see, football is more than just a game. It is a mirror of society, a reflection of our best and worst moments. Yes, there is greed in the game, but there is passion too. Yes, there's violence, but there is unity among fans. Yes, there's corruption, but there is joy, pure, unadulterated joy, like nothing else. Just ask any parent who has ever watched their child take their first kick at a football. I know what you're thinking. Why did he tell us all this? After all, it was supposed to be a feel-good story. Well, here's the thing. The good and the bad are inseparable in football, as they are in life. And if we ignore the bad, we do a disservice to the sport we love. The beautiful game cannot shine without the shadows. And it is only when we acknowledge the darkness that we can work towards making football better, cleaner, and more transparent. It is our duty as fans to ensure that the beautiful game stays beautiful, to make sure that the future of football is bright and that it is played in the spirit of fair play, unity, and sportsmanship. Because football is more than a game. It is a religion. It is a way of life. It is a global community, and we must ensure that it stays that way.